More than 50% of what you communicate is nonverbal. People make a decision about you within the first minute of ever meeting you. It is the silent speaker. I want you to think today about somebody that changed your mood today. You could have left your home and somebody cut you off and you went, oh. And then all of a sudden you drove by the school crossing guard and they waved at you and smiled. Or you came into Toastmasters and Chris went, yeah, let's go Toastmasters, Pontevedra Toastmasters Club. And everybody went, whoop, up you came. Am I right? I want to tell you about two things. One, I used to work up on Southside Boulevard in Phillips. Has anybody ever seen Super Troopers? You know the cop with the big bushy mustache? We had one of those guys. He was a security guard. And I had to drive a whole hour every single day. I drove from St. Augustine to Jacksonville. And man, did I have to go through some Frogger, right? Everybody knows what Frogger is. When you're a little frog trying to cross the road, not being killed by anyone. And by the time I get to work, my stress level is just a little bit higher than when I left home. And as I turned into the complex, there's this guy. Just like this. That's all he did. He just did this. You had no choice but to acknowledge him. And you go, and into work I went. And then I had a manager, which I'll never forget this young man. He dressed to the nines every day. Solid, professional, wore a bow tie. And as you came into the office, he said, thank you for coming to work today. He was my employee. And he's thanking me for coming to work today. And I'm like, oh, you're welcome. And off I went, right? So these are people that changed your mind, changed your thought process, changed your energy. I'm going to be going through 3 different aspects of nonverbal communication. The last time we were together, I spoke about communication styles, 4 different communication styles and how you speak. Today I want to talk a little bit about nonverbal communication. And the first one I want to talk about is posture. As you're all sitting around this room, I'm reading your posture. Who's interested? Who's not? Who is showing that they want to understand the topic? Who's a little bit relaxed? Who's thinking about what their job's going to be happening? I'd like to give you an example of posture. I've made a decision as an interviewer whether I'm going to hire you before I even speak to you. Anybody in agreement? Because when you walk through that door, I've already assessed you based on your posture, based on your dress, based on your appearance. Is it fair? Yeah, it's fair. It depends where you're going to go work. I work in a very professional environment, and the expectation is that. When we brought people in to be interviewed, they sat around a table just like this, but it was a square. And we came in, and we spoke to the people. This is our company, this is what we do, this is how we do it, do you have any questions for us? And I did not care about anything else other than my managers were talking, I was watching. Who's sitting up straight? Who has their hands on the table? Who's looking directly at them? How are you dressed? Are you asking questions? Do you have a notepad in front of you? These are all the things that go with posture. So I'm going to introduce myself to Rob. I'll introduce myself to you. Hi, Rob. I'm Brian.
Hey, Brian.
How you doing today?
Very good, thank you.
How'd you feel about that interaction?
Horrible.
What are you talking about? I came up, I said, hi, Rob, and I shook your hand.
Your shake was loose. You weren't engaged. You didn't even look in my eyes.
Wow, how about that, huh? So I'll try again. Hey, Rob, how you doing this morning?
Good.
Brian Gourlay. Nice to meet you. Hi.
Well done.
Glad to have you here. How was that?
Fantastic.
How do you feel?
I feel great.
Okay.
I feel like I matter.
I care, right? I'm showing you something. Not only was that my posture, but that was also my expressions, and that was also my gestures. So your posture is extremely important, how you carry yourself. Don't walk around like this. Right? What am I telling everyone? I'm Eeyore, right? Everyone knows who Eeyore is? Oh, I'm okay. Even if you're not, stand up straight. Walk with purpose. Right? If you're not feeling it, you will feel it. Am I right, Sean?
Yes.
You will feel it. You'll get there. I promise you, you'll get there. There's nothing worse than standing and listening to somebody speak that just stands here and speaks. Open hands shows that you care and that you're open. But also make sure you do lots of gestures. I went surfing the other day. It was one of the best surfing days I've ever had. It was awesome. I caught a wave. I barreled. It was fantastic. I had a great day. I went surfing last weekend. It was a beautiful day. The sun was up. The surf was nice and calm. The waves were about 4 foot. I was paddling out. I'm looking at this. I'm going, oh, I'm going to have a good day today. And as I'm sitting there watching the sunrise, I look behind me. There's this wave cresting. I'm like, this is it. This is it. I start paddling. I'm paddling. I'm paddling. I look back. I'm getting this wave. Boom! I'm up on the wave. Off I go. And I'm looking ahead of me, and I see the wave starting to crest. I'm like, you know what? I think I can get through there. Boom! Barreled. Woo! What a wave. Same story. Use of gestures. And then the third thing is your facial expressions. For those of us that do a lot of speaking in front of people, this is probably one of the most important ones, because you can actually get your message across by saying absolutely nothing. I just went through about 6 different things, and I didn't say a single word. Ah, okay, you see what happened there? I gave her an expression of, and she went, hey, what did I do wrong? But I can come over here and go, she smiled back at me. Expressions. The silent speaker is more important than what you say. Use your nonverbal skills and use them effectively in every single interaction you have every day. Every single moment, your nonverbal gestures are telling somebody else a story. Be cognizant of it. Madam Toastmaster. Thank you.
Take a few minutes to write down some feedback for Ryan.